And we are live. Good morning, crypto warriors, and welcome back to Gem in the Crypto, episode 1133. Today is Wednesday, August 16, 2023, and I'm King, here to bridge the gap between community and crypto every day, Monday through Friday at 10ish. Today's top stories: Ledger announces US PayPal integration, let users buy crypto from within app. Coinbase wins NFA approval to offer Bitcoin and Ether futures in the US. Stellar dips into Treasury to buy minority stake into MoneyGram. U.S. lawmakers press SEC and FINRA on Prometheum's broker-dealer approval, and LA council member wants to ban businesses from going cash free. But first and foremost, of course, as always, let's go ahead and take a look at these Bitcoin prices. All right. Bitcoin's coming in at a paltry 29K, it looks like, too. Bitcoin's coming in at $29,051, down 0.98%. We have Ethereum at $1,819, down 1.06%. Pardon me. Number 5, Ripple is at 59 cents, down 5.52%. Number 8, Cardano is at 27 cents, down 5.6%. And number 10, Tron at 0.7 cent, down 1. Did I say point? Excuse me, at 7 cent, down 1.9%. Trending tokens is CyberConnect down 19.65%, Psy up 16.84%, and Oho down 1%. And the Fear and Greed Index, actually, since the first time we started tracking it, has dropped below 50. So it was at 49, still neutral in the neutral area. So again, that's that 50-50. We don't know where the prices go. The Bitcoin dominance has actually increased a bit. It's at 49.2%, and Ethereum's dominance has also increased at 19%. Those are your prices on the day. So again, still a lot of sideways movement. Not much has changed. As the halving gets closer, the supply and demand will increase, of course, or decrease. But the thing we have to look for are these black swan events. What's going to happen all the way until then, especially when we're talking ETFs and these other regulations. Some quick shout outs. What's going on? Patrick Walter, Crypto Night Train. Just call me L. Will 45, Bitcoin Madam JB, Voice Crypto. What up? No Cap. 5150, Gamer Johnson. Hey, Stack of Satoshis. Welcome to the show, everyone. Welcome back. Let's go ahead and jump straight into it. There's actually a lot of decent stories today. Wasn't that many yesterday, so once again, skipped over that. Some decent stories coming in today, especially I can't wait to get to the last one, the one out of Los Angeles. I actually saw that story break yesterday live on the news. Why? Because I was watching another daily car chase going on through most of the SoCal counties. But top story, other day, one of the top stories, Ledger announces US PayPal integration, lets users buy crypto from within app. Through the new integration, verified PayPal users in the United States will be able to buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin through directly through Ledger Live. So this is an interesting thing. It was a pretty cool partnership. Hardware wallet manufacturer Ledger has integrated its Ledger Live software with PayPal. According to an August 16 joint announcement by the two companies, the integration allows U.S. residents with verified PayPal accounts to buy Bitcoin, Ether, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin, as previously mentioned, directly through Ledger Live with no extra verification, the announcement stated. So I haven't used Ledger Live. I'm not sure what the sign-up procedures are there because they're saying there's no extra verification. But I'm assuming that, again, especially on the PayPal side, it says verified PayPal accounts. All right, so the sign up is happening, the KYC essentially. That's happening on the PayPal side. So verified PayPal accounts are usually either the business accounts. I'm not sure they do verified personal ones for sure, unless I guess you're providing personal information with that. I know for regular PayPal accounts, you only for the most part need emails, but once you get over to that business side of the house, they actually get all the KYC, tax documents, and things like that. So, this and including a couple other stories today, I mean, it kind of makes sense. I think we're going to start seeing more of this instead of companies doing everything on their own, as in the traditional ones. And PayPal, while it's still modern and novel, is traditional in the sense of crypto. So we'll start seeing traditional companies and the crypto companies start to merge together, start to partner together so they don't have to do all the heavy lifting. Because again, you all knew where I was coming from when I was talking PayPal, doing all this custody and doing all this crypto stuff. I wasn't really a fan of it. But then on the flip side, when it comes to actually getting the assets bought and purchased and brought over to cold storage, a lot of people aren't fans of using the cold storage or the cold storage ancillary apps and things that they have. So this makes sense as a good marriage. You have PayPal, again, handling some of the old school way of doing things, KYC, AML, buying and selling of the actual assets to fiat. And then you actually have Ledger on the other side to say, hey, we can help with the actual storage needs. So what remains to be seen to me is how they're going to share data. Once that data is shared, how is that going to be reshared again from these two parties to possible other third parties? But again, it's a pretty interesting partnership. So again, this is Ledger Chairman and CEO Pascal Gauthier claimed that combining Ledger Live with PayPal will make crypto transactions simpler while also not compromising on security. We're combining the uncompromising security of Ledger with PayPal's leadership and protect the payments technology to help facilitate a seamless platform for user crypto transactions. Ledger is committed to simplifying the world of crypto, and PayPal is committed to making movement of money as simple, reliable, and affordable as possible. So again, this does make sense. I'm not sure, like, this wouldn't be my one-stop shop still. I don't really trust PayPal in the crypto sense, and Ledger partnering with them kind of raises the eyebrow too. But when you're talking about the mom and pop, the grandmother, the grandfather, mass adoption, this is one of those channels. This reads to me like a Coinbase channel. So it is needed in the industry. So shout out to them for getting that done over there at Ledger. Cool to see, I guess. All right. Let's see what's going on in these comments right now. Let's see. Okay, there we go. What's going on? Hominy said, hope they cancel this podcast. What's going on, Hominy? Welcome back. What's going on, Wendy Nichols? What else is going on? Coinbase wins NFA approval to offer Bitcoin and Ether futures in the US. So this isn't necessarily new. We already have futures, of course, with SIBO and CME. What I wanted to talk about this story was the NFA portion, okay? We don't hear about them as often. I mentioned them on this show a ton when I talk about regulators. I always say how they're jockeying for position. You talk about CFTC, SEC, NFA, and I always say the Futures Association. I know we don't hear about them a lot, but they are also in the background jockeying for position the same way the SEC and the CFTC is. They're just not as being as aggressive. Also, I want to talk about them because when it comes to the NFA, they have their own thoughts of crypto as well, right? So it's been funny to me that, again, the front runners have been the SEC. These are securities. The CFTC, these are commodities. But the NFA have literally been in the background the whole time talking about half of these things are futures and half of these things can be in the futures market. And we can do this with, and this is legal, and this isn't legal. No one's listening to them. So I really wanted to bring this story up to say that they're still alive and kicking. They're still jockeying for position. But it looks like Coinbase is preparing to roll out cryptocurrency futures trading for institutional investors in the U.S. So it will likely bring, again, competition to SIBO and CME, to my estimation. But they're, again, doing this for eligible customers in the U.S. They released this today, August 16. Coinbase stated the company is now officially allowed to operate a futures commission merchant FCM platform. The approval enables Coinbase to introduce Bitcoin and Ether futures contracts through its Commodities Futures Trading Commission regulated derivatives exchange. Oh my goodness, people. It has began. And I think this is actually a good test case for us. We're going to now see if, again, does institutional adoption bring a higher price, fiat price point, right? One Bitcoin is one Bitcoin regardless. But I think this is going to be a good use case and test case because while futures aren't the biggest thing around, right? Everybody aren't screaming we need futures, especially when you have SIBO and CME already feeling that need. At least now with the third one of this magnitude and size, Bitcoin, we can start to see if this derivatives market, the paper derivatives on Bitcoin, the futures, eventually the ETFs, eventually wherever else you can think of, right? Bonds or whatever else, will this affect the price point in a positive or negative way? Remember, especially with some of the futures, they don't need to necessarily have to buy Bitcoin to back the futures, right? Especially, and I haven't went into detail, I'm sure it's probably in an article. If the Coinbase futures are paying out in fiat currency or in a stable coin, they may not need to have bought Bitcoin to back it. That's very important because if you're going to be having if they have a large futures market, if it takes off, then all that money that's going to be put in the futures, it will not be put into Bitcoin. Thus, we can see the price being suppressed or actually decrease even further. So this is going to be interesting to see how they wrap and sell this product, how interested people are going to be in futures, and who this product will be offered to. The masses start to say, like, there's a narrative that gets pushed through Coinbase and marketing campaign, and masses say, hey, this futures thing is way safer than buying an underlying product, and people start to do it, we could see this price either stagnate or decrease more. And again, this is what the government wants, right? They want this, like, literally. So, like, NFA is like, yes, we couldn't wait for you to access. Like, tell Gemini and Binance to hop on board. They can't wait for this because every ancillary crypto that's a shit coin out there, every futures, every ETF, all these things take away from the price of Bitcoin's bottom line. It makes it look weak in the eyes of the fiat lovers, right? Those in the crypto and Bitcoin world knows Bitcoin, 1 = 1 Bitcoin. But if you're looking at fiat, it makes it look weak because the price is stagnated and going sideways or even dipping. When in reality, that could just be a part of the plan to make Bitcoin kind of sideways out until they come up with whatever tokens they want. But again, this is futures trading over at Coinbase now. They're officially in the game. I presume this will bring in a lot of institutional capital for them. So again, good for the market, but I think this is a test for us. We'll actually get to see how it affects the market now here in the next probably a couple of quarters. It'll take at least 3 to 6 months before it even starts to hit, but we'll at least get a chance to see. What do y'all think in the comments? Let me see. Hope they cancel this podcast. Says super big wins for those making plays on the sideline that know the tech for sure. Futures Bitcoin equals Bitcoin, says goodness. Let's see. Hope they cancel this podcast. Says futures and ETF, just a buzzword to get institutions to invest in Bitcoin in a way they can understand. Then boom, rug pull them 2 billions lost in milliseconds. I think so too. Goodness said Coinbase is about to wreck their customers. Price cost said, won't this increase volatility? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it could actually make the price go down. I mean, listen, when SIBO and CME, again, when they launched the futures, I can't remember which of the CEOs it was, but I do remember this old guy, one of the CEOs of that company, saying, we're going to tame this market. And I was like, no, you're not. You can't tame this market. And woof, they came in and tamed the market, and their timing was perfect. So we shall see how this works. We shall see. More paper Bitcoin is a direct attack. Such a shame. Armstrong, definitely a regulated scammer at this point. Talking about Brian Armstrong from Coinbase. Said, goodness, I can agree with that. All right. Won't go too in depth in this story. The title is in the headline is the story itself. Stellar dips into Treasury to buy minority stake in MoneyGram. That's right. The financial details weren't disclosed, which is why there's no need to even go that much in detail. But the investment gave the Stellar Development Foundation a seat on MoneyGram's board of directors. So, yeah, this is actually this is super interesting. I wonder how much. Let me see. Yeah, so Stellar had to buy into that stake. I get what they're doing. Here, let me actually. So it says here from Danielle Dixon. Who is this? Let me make sure I know who this is. CEO and executive director of Stellar Development Foundation. Had a tweet out. It said the decision to invest in MoneyGram was an easy one after years of getting to know the business and the teams. We are excited to take part in MGI's next chapter. It's been an awesome few years working together, and we are excited for what's next. All right. So here's my thing. We'll never know, of course, on the front end. Well, I'm saying we'll never, unless they come out and tell us, and even then, companies can lie, they're private companies, but unless they tell us why they did this partnership, it will always be speculative. But to me, I think Stellar doing some grimy shit. It's good business, but grimy shit. And this is what I mean really quick. So this move doesn't really make sense because the likes of MoneyGram, they're on the way out the door. They're the blockbusters. They're the red boxes. They're the yellow taxi cabs. They're on the way out the door, whereas Stellar, because it's a crypto, are the Airbnbs, right? They are the Ubers. They are the new tech that's going to come replace them. So for them to pay the old guys money to become a part of a sinking ship doesn't on the surface make sense to me until I dig a little deeper. The partnership makes more sense for MoneyGram to me than it does Stellar as far as technology, but as far as business, this makes perfect sense for Stellar. MoneyGram is on the way out the door. If they want to stay alive, they do have the DAPA technology. So why not buy into the board of directors, which I'm assuming will be a small percent of what your actual net worth is, or what the operating costs and actual profit of what you would get once the business is done, which I'll explain in a second. So it makes sense to have this partnership from Stellar point of view. And even MoneyGram, this is good for them because they're saying, hey, we can get this cutting edge technological team on our side, and they can help us produce. So whether we use Stellar or use a different crypto or our own crypto, at least we know the direction we're moving. For Stellar purposes, now you get customer data. If they did this the right way, they should be getting email lists. They should know how much these people make, how much these people send, phone numbers, social securities. I don't know what MoneyGram gathers as far as personal identifiable information, but I can guarantee you just bought yourself on a seat of board of directors. You're going to get some of that information either formally or informally. Informally, by that, I mean someone else on the board of directors you cozy up to, you talk to them, you figure out that business, and they say, hey, here's the email list. Hey, you want to redirect all your marketing toward these regions of the US? Like any little thing like that could like incrementally increase the value of Stellar. So I think this is a great partnership, again, for the dying institution that actually needs the new cutting edge techies, and then for the new cutting edge tech of the Stellar team to say, hey, let's actually go back to MoneyGram, see how they've been doing business, who they've been doing business with, and pick up where they left off and keep it rolling. So I think this is a great move. I think Stellar actually got, even though they paid, depending on how much they paid, unless they paid a lot, which I would not pay a lot for this deal, I think they should have got the upper hand on this deal. This should be a big win for Stellar. So again, remains to be seen. We got to keep watching. But yeah, I mean, this is a good one for Stellar. I think this is a good one. So we'll see. Goodness said, prepare for hacks and attacks once MoneyGram and Stellar merge. Such a huge honeypot to not exploit. The only reason I'm going to say it might not happen as much as we think is because you remember MoneyGram is still on the traditional network. So, I mean, essentially, you'd be trying to hack the United States in some way. They can go back to Uncle Sam and be like, hey, I thought y'all said y'all protected us against this stuff. We're not a crypto company. We partner with them. We work with them. But so that would be interesting to see there as well. But yeah, I mean, great deal from Stellar's point of view. I think this is a great deal, especially if you can get your hands on that company. If you can get your hands on like customer data, oh, huge win, man. Listen, Stellar this is a win for Stellar. They just get the email list from MoneyGram. Like if they get the email and the phone number list from MoneyGram and reach out, hey, we can save you overnight 5 to 30% on all your transactions back to whatever country you're from, back to the United States if you're out of country. Like we can overnight save you this by just clicking here. Oh man, get your popcorn ready. I see y'all saying that in the comments. All right, last couple of quick stories. I do got to run today. Oh man, listen, shout out to Uncle. Listen, I told you I'm part of the gang. Shout out to Uncle Sam. Shout out to you as lawmakers. You all had a shit-eating grin on my face today when I opened the news. This next story made me so happy. I know either some of them or some of the people who work for them are watching our show, because every time we've been firing them up, they've actually come back every few days or weeks with something we've said, with some clarification or at least some adjustments or moves being happening. If you remember, as of recently, I think it was the Monday show, if not last week, I essentially was saying like, hey, how are the Prometheums are going to sneak in, how the Hedera hash caches are going to sneak in, and all these other ones. And that's essentially what Gary Gensler and some of these folks wanted, right? They wanted their old pals and buddies. Well, it looks like U.S. lawmakers press SEC and FINRA on Prometheum's broker-dealer approval. Hey, hand clap, old school. That's what I'm talking about. Uncle Sam, your own gang is starting to splinter. They're not paying back up. They're not giving the kickbacks up to the president, whoever it's supposed to go to. I don't know. They're not kissing the pinky ring. SEC and FINRA thought they can hold it. That's the other one I was thinking of. FINRA was a regulator I spoke to back in 2018 at CIAA in Charlotte. But SEC, FINRA, CFTC, NFA, these are some of the actual regulatory bodies that are jockeying for position in the space. But members of the House Financial Services Committee questioned the timing and circumstances of FINRA approving Prometheum's special purpose broker-dealer license in May. Excuse me. United States lawmakers on the House Financial Services Committee have demanded answers from the heads of the SEC and Financial Industry Regulatory Authority, FINRA, regarding how Prometheum obtained a special broker-dealer license, SPBD. Listen, y'all already know how they did it. Listen, the gang did the gang. The only problem is that this is almost like a gang hit. They didn't mess around and kill somebody and didn't ask for permission. Now, when the bosses didn't heard about it, and they like, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all out here making plays without talking to me. So you, SEC, you must be the boss now. You must be the president. FINRA, you must have your own enforcement wing we didn't know about. You must have your own police wing we didn't know about. That's how the United States is looking at this. Oh, y'all out here giving people special consideration, and you ain't ran it up the chain. You don't know if they leaning right or left. We don't know if they're Democrat or Republican. We don't know. What are y'all doing? What's going on here? What's going on? In separate letters dated August 9th, House Committee Chair Patrick McHenry and 20 other members. Oh, this is real. 20 other members wrote to SEC Chair Gary Gensler and FINRA President and CEO Robert Cook. The lawmakers questioned the timing and circumstances of FINRA approving Prometheum's SPBD license as they were continuing to consider legislative solutions to regulatory gaps on digital assets. Slap in your face, Congress. If I were you, it ain't no more letters. It's time to take action. While Prometheum claims it is the silver bullet for regulated digital asset offerings, it has not yet served a single customer, claimed the lawmakers. It is unclear why FINRA would have chosen to approve a firm with no operating history and no track record of serving customers over all the applications that it has received. Thank you for watching our show and listening to our show, whether you say it publicly or not. United States, I know Uncle Sam got my back. I know real people in the government, folks in the military. I know they got my back for real. I think somebody had to push this up. It had to. I'm happy regardless, even if they didn't listen to our show. If they listened to somebody else or read a tweet, I'm just happy to see this. But, oh, my God, look at this. Wow, this is a tweet. Financial Services GOP, this is the official tweet. Chairman Patrick McHenry led Republicans on the Financial Services Committee and letters to FINRA and Secretary or SEC government regarding the shady approval of Prometheum as the only special purpose broker dealer for digital assets. Shady approval. This is the America I know right here. God damn it, this is the America I know. Shit turns me on in the morning. So you're ready to go do some workouts on the beach with the unit. This makes me proud to be a veteran right here. This is the America I know. People see, I'm fair. I'm not just critical all the time for no reason. Like, I'm critical because I care. I want to see the good stuff happening. I hope this is the good stuff happening. How and why the SEC and FINRA were able to come together and say, hey, you all and nobody else who's never done any business in crypto, who are brand new and who, by the way, are half of our friends because we already have previous relationships with you. We're going to give you a license we haven't given to nobody else. Thank you, government, United States, for finally realizing the bullshit. And to be honest, the only reason why they're doing this, too, to be fair, is because they didn't get their cut. Again, this is a money thing. People follow the money. You giving out licenses and whoa. Like I said, this is the same as ordering a hit, basically. You didn't give a construction company in New York the golden pass, and you haven't talked to the mayor about it. You didn't tell nobody else in New York. You're like, what? The tax man coming for you too, SEC and FINRA. Y'all not special. Again, very happy to see this. I was seeing if I can see some of the comments put on here. I got to sign back in. I'm not about to do all that, but very happy to see this. Very, very, very happy to see this. It should have been happened with more companies, and hopefully this will continue. So I'm going to leave that there. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Last but not least, I saw this live again. Yesterday was a crazy chase going on through Southern California. We have these like every day. I'm not gonna get into politics. You just gotta love it. It's crazy out here, people, but it's wild, wild west. But essentially, once that story ended, a new story broke and cut. And essentially, it was LA council member wants to ban businesses from going cash free. I told you. I tried to tell you what happened during COVID here in Los Angeles. I mean, we could already had a Bitcoin and crypto focused society in LA during COVID. Once COVID started here, tons of businesses stopped doing cash. They do Apple Pay now, or like debit or credit card. Some places don't even take debit or credit card either, unless it's already on your phone, like Apple Pay, like or whatever. Trader Joe's, I think it is here in California, or Southern California at least. Our Trader Joe's in Los Angeles, West Los Angeles area, Santa Monica, all that, for sure. You pay with your palm. They have I think they partner with Google or Amazon, or excuse, I think they partner with Amazon, but you literally pay with your palm. You put your palm over the register thing and it bings and it pays. All right. Or your palm print or something. So this is here. It's happening and it's here in Los Angeles. I've been telling people this since COVID started in 2020. I was talking about this because I was like, yo, it was like, there's literally places I went to eat with cash. And it wasn't to the end of my meal. They're like, oh, we don't accept cash. Luckily, I had cards on me, but I'm just like, yo, if I had my card on me, like, what would we have done in this situation? This is like exacerbated like a lot since COVID was 3 years ago when it started. So now it's like LA. I would say off the top of my head, at least 30% of businesses I've gone cashless already. I didn't think it was right to begin with. They already been changes. They started going changeless since COVID. So you give $20, you're supposed to get like 30-something cent of change. You're not getting any change. Most businesses, 7-Elevens, no, like most businesses will not give you change in Los Angeles already. So change is almost already gone. They've been doing away with cash. But again, this congresswoman is pushing back. I actually listened to this yesterday. And essentially all she's saying is like, hey, especially in Los Angeles, we're not there yet. She says she knows for a fact, and I do as well. I mean, you talk about street vendors themselves. This is a cash-rich society in LA. Again, we have a ton of street vendors selling food. It's a very touristy place. You go to the beach, they're selling you beads, towels, blankets. I bought a blanket. I was on the beach the other day. I live, 10 minutes from the beach. Didn't have a blanket. Wasn't about to go home to get one. Bought a blanket from one of the girls who said her dad brings blankets from Mexico. I don't know if she's telling me the truth or not, but whatever. Bought an overpriced blanket in cash on the beach. They actually take debit and cashless payments as well, credit, Apple Pay. But it's like, boom, just bought that quick cash blanket. All she's accepting is cash. And that's all she's actually using to pay rent and to buy food. It's like, that's what it is. And that is what it is for a lot of residents. So it's interesting to see a Los Angeles City Council member push back. Councilwoman Heather Hudd of District 10 said cashless businesses create an economy in our city that is not inclusive and accessible for all people. She also says there are many unbanked groups, including minorities and low-income communities, that rely on cash to pay for goods and services. I'm actually going to try to reach out for her. I think this is prime for a Bitcoin maneuver here. I'm going to reach out for her, and see if I can get in touch with her, because to me, it's like, boom, that keyword, that unbanked word, get everybody a Bitcoin wallet on their cell phone. And I do know for these same minorities and these same unbanked folks, this method of Bitcoin is not the best answer also, right? And the reason why I say that, because it is super volatile. And when you're talking about people who, like, yes, that last $5 or $10 is your $100 or $1,000. Like, that's how I've been in that situation. I understand that life. That $5 is important. That $5 can get you 3 or 4 burgers from Wendy's. Like, you can at least eat off that, right? So when you're talking about that, and you do talk about the volatility of Bitcoin, that does affect those people. When it's like, well, I mean, yes, every day might go down $7 or up $8 or down $4, whatever. That will affect those people. So I do want to be conscientious of that, is saying, hey, a person having a $100 Bitcoin wallet, to these same unbanked people, that's a lot of money in that Bitcoin wallet. That's a lot of money. So to see that $100 slide to 94, some days 92, that would be scary to them. But on the flip side, I think education can help, where we can say, hey, that short term, that same 100 can also go to 108, 102, 103. But by and large, at least getting a way for people to bring the cash that they have right now over to Bitcoin, over to a digital version. And at least when they're about to spend it, so let's say they're on their way to buy food, they're on their way to buy groceries. All right, well, now you can today, on your way to get groceries, put that cash into your Bitcoin wallet and buy the groceries. That way you're not hit with the volatility metrics, right? Plenty of things we got to discuss to figure this out. But the bottom line is that LA is trying to go cashless. And people are fighting back. So this is a time for Bitcoin to shine as it should be shining. I can't speak today. Other than that, that is the show for today. Got to run. Make sure you smash that like and share, and I will see you all tomorrow.